Behind all town operations, from picking up your solid waste to treating your drinking water, there is the budget. Hi, I'm Emily Bradford, Budget Director for the town of Hillsborough, and I'm here to talk to you about the Hillsborough budget, what it is, and how it's created. The budget is a blueprint that provides a sound financial framework for town operations. This helps ensure that the town's resources are allocated towards the priorities identified by the Board of Commissioners. This blueprint provides an estimate of revenues and expenditures for the upcoming fiscal year, which runs from July 1st of one year to June 30th of the next. Each Hillsborough budget also includes a 3-year financial forecast and 7-year capital improvement plan. This helps staff and town leaders assess what priorities should be funded in the upcoming fiscal year, as well as identify needs and funding sources for the 2 subsequent years. This allows town officials and citizens to see how today's decisions could impact the financial condition of the town tomorrow.
I'm Eric Peterson, Hillsborough Town Manager. One of the biggest parts of the budget process is trying to determine what wants and needs we have in the community get funded, and more specifically, how much money are we going to actually allocate to those wants and needs. Also, another key part of the budget process is the tough decision of what items do we cut or delay out into the future to save enough money so we can balance our budget. There are 3 key principles that we use to help guide our decision-making process in this area. First is taking care of what we've got. 2, investing for the future. And 3, trying to minimize the rate or cost to citizens and taxpayers in the community. When it comes to taking care of what we already have, such as the town's infrastructure, like water and sewer lines and streets, we're also talking about facilities, equipment, employees, and our organizational structure. Each budget includes funds to maintain what the town has. For example, each year we set a goal of repaving 5% of Hillsborough streets to keep the town on a cycle of resurfacing streets about every 20 years. That's as opposed to some other cities that are on a 50-year repaving cycle. We believe it's in the town's best interest to spend a dedicated amount each year to keep Hillsborough's streets functional and safe. The alternative would be funding an enormous repaving project at one time and allowing our streets to deteriorate, which would ultimately cost more over the long haul. We also want to invest in Hillsborough's future. We do this by identifying specific projects, programs, services, and infrastructure improvements that are likely to make Hillsborough a better place to live, work, and visit. The Riverwalk Greenway is an example of one of the investments we've made in Hillsborough's future. Other planned investments are expansions of the town's reservoir, water treatment plant, and building new police and fire stations. Finally, we try to minimize the rate impacts or cost to citizens by watching property tax rates, water, sewer, stormwater rates, and only increasing them when we think it's a top priority. As of FY fiscal year 17, the current year we're in right now, it's been over 4 years since we've had a property tax rate increase, and we haven't had a water rate increase in 5 years.
I'm Jen Dallavalley, Management Analyst and Assistant Public Information Officer in Hillsborough. I help prepare the town's budget, and I'll walk you through the process for its preparation. The budget process takes nearly 8 months. It starts in November when town staff start working on budget proposals for the upcoming fiscal year. An initial draft is presented to the town board a few months later, usually in February. At this time, the mayor and commissioners have their annual budgetary planning retreat with key town staff. At this retreat, staff is provided with early guidance on the budget, priorities, and direction. Something interesting to note is that Hillsborough's budget is presented 3 months in advance of the traditional delivery date for local governments in North Carolina. This provides for additional time to review, make adjustments to the budget, and consider alternatives. There are more than 650 municipalities and counties in North Carolina, and to the best of our knowledge, Hillsborough is the only local government that presents a draft budget to its governing board this early. In June, the board votes on the budget at a regularly scheduled board meeting, and the approved budget goes into effect July 1. That might seem like a long process, but it provides ample time for review, deliberation, and citizen input, and that's important to us. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact me, the budget director, or town manager.